No masks.
Say 3, 2, 1, and then start.
Ray, go.
Hi guys, this is Chris Parkerson, and I happen to have a good friend, Bill, with me today. And I want to talk a little bit about mass attack, and I'm going to rant for a few minutes about the mindset that I think is really important, because not everybody has thought through maybe the whole mindset or the many strategies they can use. And on top of that, then I'm going to talk a little bit about the weapons I do carry and why, and the escalation of force. And finally, the hand-to-hand weapons, which for me are Pantherin, which is not book set, and you'll see why, and I'll explain some of that, and I'll show some of the technique. And then Aiki Jiu-Jitsu a la Yanagi-Ryu, which is Yoshida Kataro's art. They're both very close in fights. They both use the same elements in 5-element boxing, which is the essence of Hanga, which we say book set comes from, and so on. So you'll see the two different elements, book sets built on earth and fire, and Pantherin's built on, not earth and fire, I'm sorry, wood and fire, and the Pantherin out of the Ceylon Temple, Funkin province, was water and earth. But anyway, let's start with my idea. I'm old. I'm a quarter horse. I'm not the thoroughbred that some of you guys are. But then again, I'm not on the track, and I'm not on perfect terrain. So I can't show the best of my physical priorities. When you're sparring in a match, you are, but I am a quarter horse, okay? I'm an old, aging quarter horse. And so I cut the cattle, I pull the plow, I ride the fence line. I don't care if a storm's coming, that's what I do. As a quarter horse, I'm very versatile. I'm not as athletic as you will be, but I know my terrain and I become one with it. So the first thing, I live in some pretty rough areas and I work in rough areas. My own church is in a really rough area. 4 teenagers in about 2 square mile area die every year in gang fights. We're real close to OSU, where within 3 blocks away from my church, a Somali pulled out a machete and started killing students. He was a student himself. Within 3/4 of a mile, there was a Jerusalem restaurant that another Somali took out a machete and killed a bunch of patrons. And we got gangs fighting all the time. We've got homeless that we mainly serve, and they're getting punch-out game, knockout game, and robbed all the time by gangs, and that's how people bang themselves into the gang and stuff, little wannabes. So yeah, I carry a gun all the time as an elder of the church. Sadly, the other elder, his own daughter was killed a 1.5 years ago. Mass attack. What happened was they drugged her, then they tried to rape her, Somali group, and she fought back and they killed her. So yeah, that's kind of real beat. So anyway, first thing I do is, if it's in the cold, I have a jacket. I'm already pointed in. Now every gun that I pull out today has already been checked, right?
Has been checked.
And there are no rounds in it. I also have a blue gun, which is a training gun that I wear as my primary weapon when I don't have a jacket on in the summer. This is my primary weapon. But I always have 2 weapons on me in high risk. And then I'll show you where the second one is, the blue gun. This is for up close and personal. And it gets me distance enough, even in a mass attack, that finally, again, my shirt is part of my kit, is breakaway, and I have another gun here. So, you can see it, when I'm close. Now that gets me to my car, okay? So I'm really talking worst case scenario. I've protected people on the border who were afraid of cartels. So, I keep this in the car. And this is a briefcase. Now, this gun here and that gun there, they're not my primary asset, they're my backups. But if you take a look, they are married to the same round and the same magazine. So this goes in my pistol, as well as in, my carbine. So just enough of that now. Let's talk about intermediate fighting. So I challenged some of you. I said, if you really want to know if you're going to survive a mass attack, come on out to me at the next riot. and let's wear red MAGA hats once we're in ground zero where all the Antifa are, and let's see how your strategy works. You know, I'll be there to back you up, and you'll be there to back me up, and we can field test our strategies. Well, here's my first strategy, is if somebody is going to come at me, I want to tell the group the story. If it gets radical and I can't use my verbal judo and I can't use angle and zoning and find a method of escape, I'm going to make the first guy so bloody, kind of like, what was it called? Terror in the Darkness or something, Val Kilmer, and the tiger comes into the village and all the villagers run away. Okay, that's the story. I want to make it so dang bloody that the villagers run away. All right? And that's because why? He's threatened my life. I'm not going to fight unless somebody's going to threaten my life. I don't care if it's assets I lose or if it's a robbery, a trespass, or somebody insults me, somebody pushes me. That's just sophomore stuff. The only thing that I'm going to ever fight over is to protect my life or the life of a friend or a relative or somebody I've been paid to protect. So anyway, in doing that, I want to introduce the first tool. This is a killing stick. Now, if you take a look at the killing stick, we've shaved off just a piece of, I think this is olive, sawed it off, but look at that edge that we put on it, okay? And over here, now the Pantheran through the OSS style training in World War II, they would put these out in an environment when they're going to try to kidnap somebody. They'd use a pretext to have a meeting. They get patted down, no weapons. They'd come in and they find their stick and they either kidnap or kill the person that they were targeting. This is really good. It's like Zatoichi's sword, you know, when you pull it out. But, you know, here, I'm going to gouge throats just like the panther gouges. Okay, so look, he grabbed my hand, right? So in Chinese, what do you have? You've got the 5 style fighting equation. Suck in, spit out, okay? Then counter grab, break, throw away, okay? So, you know, you've got all of this in-close type of stickiness going on in a high-level Chinese fight. And sometimes Kempo doesn't have too much of that. But because his tiger in crane. And that's really based on what? Explosive, direct striking, and the piercing type striking of 5-element boxing. Okay, so anyway, the empty hands is going to kind of work the same way. Let's say he comes in with this, my slide in is going to be like this. What am I going to, can we move over this way? Here's my panther fist. If you notice, I take that, see how close I am? I'm stepping on this foot, right? I'm taking his hand. I'm telling a story. I'm going to take this shuto and break his fingers for everybody to see. I'm going to take him and start breaking one at a time so everybody sees it. Now, you might see an oblique elbow because you're seeing what? You're seeing expansion, fire, the element of fire. This is not. This is the element of water. Watch how this works. Okay, see, I went around and moved him, and then from here, here's my trap. And you see, he grabbed me, right? So I'm going to suck him back in and do it again, all right? And so there's your stickiness going on, all right? And, you know, sorry about that, you all right? Okay, I got to really be careful. These are nasty strikes, aren't they? All right, and here's that knee, and here's the stomp. And so on. So, you know, you make it as ugly and as bloody in the first 2 seconds as you can, and you're scaring the villagers. You know, like Jack Reacher said, you know, I'm going to take out 3 and not 5. You know, I'm going to take out the alpha, and his 2 wingmen might stick around because they have loyalty, and I'll take them out too. And then everybody else come around. So that's one of the stories you can tell. I think that's oh, here, we'll show one more panther style. The panther, here, go ahead and leave it down. The panther covers here to here across the body with both his outer and inner gate. So when they're starting to do this, you can see that they're stalking their prey. And that first strike comes in, right? You're going to find that, here, let's go this way. He's going to step on that foot and do this, and there's the first strike. Here, Okay, so here, 1, 2. All right, you see how fast the water hit him, the element of water hit him, and then the 2 next strikes, and he's trapped, and he's already ready for, yeah, go ahead, hold it. You say, no. You see, and because he's holding on to me to stand up, and there, wham, there. Now, let me ask you, somebody said, oh, you can kick me in the groin. Can you kick me in the groin with the right foot? Why can't you?
I can't, that's what's holding me.
Yeah, it's been drilled into the ground, right? With both heavy hands, which is a concept that can be linear, or with water. It gets very heavy, doesn't it?
Very heavy.
All right, and then if I really want to knock you silly, I let you up a little bit and really knock you, and put air, the element of air into that too. So, just some thoughts. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Good.